If you're in the special group of some people who've been watching this channel for years and years and years, maybe all the way back to the very beginning, then you probably remember when we came out with these, the 5050 double overdrive by Pelican Noiseworks in collaboration with 60 Cycle Hum, of course. And then you probably also remember when we came out with a second run in black, and we sold out of all of these. And then you probably remember that I promised that there would be another run, that I was gonna make new special art. I had this fantastic art in mind that I was gonna make for the third run of 5050s. And I might have worked myself into a little corner where I felt pressured to make this incredible, amazing art. And I could just never live up to the expectations that I'd built for myself, and I stagnated and I sat on my ass and I never got it done. And then by the time I felt motivated to finally fart out some artwork and get a new run made, Leon from Pelican Noiseworks was on this amazing journey in his life where he was exploring the country, he was on the road, he was having a great time, he was living his life, good for him. And then he came back and he was like, well, I gotta remake my garage now. And so then I had to wait for that. So it was on both of us. We both had stuff in our life that kept us from making the next run. But now it's time. We finally got it. The third run of 5050 overdrives. And this time, we're not gonna wait for new art. It's going into production. It's just gonna be a production pedal where Leon's just gonna keep making them as long as he wants to. And maybe we'll do different color runs. Maybe I'll come up with different art eventually, but we're just gonna keep running what we have here as long as people want it. No more of these short runs, no more of 50 of this, 60 of this, etc., etc. We're just gonna make them and sell them so that people can have them, which is a no-brainer because you've heard this over and over and over on this channel. It is like my go-to overdrive in demos. I just love the way the thing sounds. It agrees with me. It fits with what I want guitar to sound like. It makes sense that we should be selling them. So check out the link below. I'm gonna plug this thing in. I'm gonna show you the basic operations and show you what it sounds like. And then I'm gonna put this brand new one on my pedal board, on the motherboard, so you can hear it in all future demos, because I've already been featuring these in pretty much all my past demos. All right, here we go. I'm gonna use my Fender Player Plus Strat running into the Two Princetons rig. But that's enough of that. For those of you who are not in the special, some people who've been here for years and years club, the 5050 is essentially, almost literally, two of these, two DoD 250s side by side. You've got level, gain, and a foot switch, level, gain, and a foot switch, level, gain, and a foot switch. And we've added a very simple little three-way toggle here for some very basic but effective tonal controls. What is new? Let's talk about what's new versus the older versions. The older versions had a different case. The new case is slightly shorter, a little bit more narrow, not by much, not noticeable, but it is slightly smaller in every direction. It's painted a lot better. I'm really excited about how good this turned out. It's the same exact color card. It's the exact same color code. But this orange just turned out so much better. It sounds like the printer did a white coat underneath this, and it just pops a little bit better. It's less dingy than this orange. I mean, this is still a great orange, but this one pops. The white print on it is nice and thick, and it pops really bright. These are things that I care about. Also, it's a different case. You see that the original has a painted bottom plate where you can see the seam on the side. No seam on the side of this one. Unpainted metal bottom plate that fits snugly in there. Small differences there, but it does have a big difference. It has a circuit difference. It has a momentary feature now. If you hold down the foot switch for 3 seconds and then let go, and it flashes, you now have a momentary option that is independent of the other side. So if you like to use it the way I like to use it, where you're leaving the left pretty much always on, but then you want to boost in some high gain stuff, but you want to have it be momentary, there you go. You hit it 3 times to set it back to normal, and then you can do the exact same thing on the other side if you want to. Oh, I think it has to start in the off position. There we go. Yep. Momentary on that side now and latching on the other. And of course, I can set it back anytime I want to. All right, let's see what it sounds like now. I'm on the bridge pickup, which is a humbucker. That's what I like. Try it on the neck pickup now. I was gonna turn on a delay and I missed it. There it is. I fixed it. The power plug had just become slightly disconnected. Probably my fault, probably from moving the board around too much. But here we go. Here it is with a little delay. It's a great sounding dirt pedal. It's my go-to. It's what I've used in the vast majority of my demos if I'm not showing off some other dirt pedal. I just love the sound of a 250, and this gives me options. Let's get into all those options. I want to show off everything else it can do. Yeah, the left side double noon in the sweep position is my always on. That's my default. I use that for my surf band. I just leave it on that setting, running into a drippy, splashy spring reverb. I use it for all sorts of stuff. I use this setting with other drives running into it, and this acts like it acts like a tube amp on the edge of breakup. That's kind of how I treat the left side of the 5050. But let's go through the range of all the controls so you can know what it can do under your own supervision, under your own creative control. There it is in my preferred position. Here it is with the gain all the way up. Now, 250 style circuit does affect the tone of your signal a bit. It does have a slight amount of colorization. It's not fully transparent. It gets really bright with the gain up, which is why we have this toggle switch here. That is the sweet setting. Here is normal. is creamy. Here it is on the humbucker. Back to sweet. I'll put it back on sweet and we'll roll it all the way down where we'll lose most of the signal. It gets pretty dang clean. There's a little bit of hair there if I dig in. There's a ledge right there. I can hear it. There we go, back to double noon. Here's the other side. It's pretty much the same, it's just symmetrical. Now let's try combining them. That's where the real magic is. Something that's fantastic about the 250 circuit is that it stacks really, really well. I like to keep this at the end of my gain section on my board. Fuzzes into it, other overdrives into it, distortions into it, because I like to use it like a dirty amp, like an amp on the edge of breakup, to just filter those other drives, to fatten them up a bit with a bit of like a preamp sort of action going on there. And you can do that within the pedal because it's two drives. So I'll show that off right now. And then when I move this to the board, then I'll show off how fuzzes hit it. And I've got a Noble style pedal on there as well. What I like to do is have this be kind of my afterburner. I'll usually have it on normal, and I'll have the gain pretty high and the level probably about there. Afterburner on. And you can even bring more gain into it by diming that level, because more volume on this side is pushing harder into the clipping on this side. Now we're just getting silly over here. Let's try doing something a little bit more conservative. Put everything on normal. I feel like that side would be sweet. And we'll stack in another double noon on the right. Let's do the momentary thing. I need the hand. This is what the hand was made for. You get the point. Let's put this thing on the board now. The christening. Is there any moment more important for the life of a pedal than when you put Velcro on it for the first time? That's the most official way that you can show a pedal that you love it. You are about to commit it to a soft, fabricy surface where it will stay affixed for the purpose of your use. So this is the motherboard. This is the pedal board that I keep on the floor down here, and it aids me in all my demos if I need a delay or a drippy spring reverb or a little bit of overdrive or some thick and creamy overdrive or crazy fuzz. I usually have them on this board ready to go, whether it's something that I know that I love or it's something that I'm experimenting with and want to try out. This is a good group. This is a good group of pedals that I really, really like. I love my Peterson tuners. I think Peterson tuners are my go-to tuner now. I don't want to use anything else. I love the way they look. I love the way they work. They just seem really, really fast and efficient. I've been loving this Walrus Eons. It is a fuzz builder. You want to build a fuzz sound? You can do it with this thing. The Wampler Bell. This is a Noble style overdrive with some extra tweaks. I love this thing. I use this a lot. If I want that fizzy, mid-humped sort of overdrive, green overdrive sort of sound, this is what I go for. It's not a tube screamer. It's a Noble style overdrive. They're different in some way, apparently. Then of course the 5050, the Source Audio True Spring. I love this thing. I think this is my favorite digital drippy surfy spring reverb. Then we've got the A-Labs Cetus. This is a more ambient, highly programmable sort of reverb. The Walrus Audio Fundamental Tremolo, that is the trim I have on the board right now. And then the A-Labs Time Slip Delay. All right, let's see how the 5050 plays with all the pedals on this board. You've already, if you've watched this channel at all, you already know how it does. There we go. Oh, gotta plug it in. First, let's see how it takes the fuzz. Dial in something here. There it is by itself. Here it is running into the 5050. Dial it in a little bit different. Sometimes fuzz can get kind of lost in the mix because there's not a lot of mids there. Fuzz can be really hollow and spiky with big boomy lows and bright spiky highs. I find that running a fuzz into the 50/50 on a fairly conservative setting, it not only smooths out those peaks the way like a slightly hot tube amp would, it also accentuates mid frequencies. It brings back in mid frequencies. It makes it pop in the mix more. It softens that Velcro a little bit, and it gives you some options. It stacks really great with pretty much all dirt pedals ahead of it. And it just gives you an option to sweeten or cream up your fuzz pedals or your other bright pedals a little bit. Let's try it with the Wampler Bell now. Let's dial it in a little bit here. Now running into the 50/50. Now what I feel the 50/50 buys me stacking it with the bell is it actually gets me highs back. It gets me that loose grit that I crave. Noodles are getting sloppy over here. A tight fizzy mid-pushed green overdrive works really well pushing into a hot tube amp. It does a similar thing with the 50/50 or with really any 250 circuit where it pushes into that bright, crispy, loose grit with this thicker, fizzy mid-push sort of grit. And it's like peanut butter and jelly. They just work together. It just works. Let's try it on the neck pickup now. Of course, we'll run it into the True Spring for my surfy sounds. Dial it back a little bit, put it on the neck pickup. I missed it. The original reason I fell in love with the 250 circuit was because I felt like it got me that torn speaker grit that I was hearing in Link Ray recordings. That's the sound that I chase. That is the vibe that I chase. All right, I already showed you the spring reverb. I did a little tremolo stuff here. I mean, here's, you know, some ambient reverb. And some delay. So what do you guys think? I made this video a lot longer than it needed to be. I already had a demo up for the original one. But I'm excited. I'm excited to finally have a new run of 5050 out there so people can buy them. Like I said, it's gonna be a production run. We're just gonna keep making them. We're not gonna let the scalpers take control this time. We're not gonna let them list them for $500, $800, $1,800. Just go to Pelican Noiseworks, link down in the description, and when they're available, you'll be able to buy them new there. Right now, as of filming this, there's like 40. When they're gone, we're gonna make more. Maybe we'll do different colorways. Suggest color options down below. I mean, obviously, orange is gonna be the classic because it's themed after an orange 5050 bar, a creamsicle. 5050 is actually a regional term. It's like a Southern California thing to call a creamsicle a 5050. I think they had different branding here when they first were released. But anyways, what do you guys think? Are you interested? At least you got to get like some education into this pedal that I use all the time in all my videos. Even if you don't want it, now at least you know. If you do want it, link down below. Huge thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude and nasty comments. Support us on Patreon. Buy a shirt if you're naked. Go buy one of these if you want. And stay grounded. Bye, everybody.